From BS and Beer Media, it's Top of the Bleachers with Jason and Tucker.
Handoff, Smith coming right, trying to outrun the coverage, makes a cut, gets it. Oh, he's still going. Oh, he's going to score. He's got the ball.
Let's see what the guys are talking about today.
Yo. Welcome into the Top of the Bleachers. It's a Monday, March the 10th. We're live. What's up, Tuck? You were saying?
I didn't know if I wanted to tell this story on the air.
Well, if you didn't crap yourself or something, I mean, we're probably all right.
No, it was nothing like that. I was at the I had to go pick Lacey up from Enterprise, and there's a come and go right across the street. And I went inside, and
This is dirty already.
There was a elderly woman in there, probably in her 70s or whatever. And I'm sitting there trying to pick out what to drink. And she come walking up to me and started talking to me. And I was being polite, you know. And she said that if I let her grab my junk, that she would buy me a Snapple. I was like, what? That's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. Free Snapple.
Got you a big old Snapple there, Tuck. Oh, I thought she was being real there for a minute. I was about to say, what?
So what's up, man? How you been?
You never know these days, bro. You really
don't know.
You got some good lighting today. Look at you. You're just shining like a...
It's daylight savings time. The sun's a little bit higher in the backyard than when we normally do the podcast. So now there's good light.
You are lit up like a Christmas tree.
By the time we get to the end of the show, it'll look like it normally does at the beginning of the show.
Man, I'm not doing much except watching the NFL ticker tick over and over and over.
How did how is your job affected by daylight savings? Did you have to work an extra hour, or did you get less of an hour? Like, how did that work for you today? Because it happened right in the middle of your shift, didn't
it? Nah. I mean, I guess I was probably asleep when it actually switched over, but I get up about 4 a.m, so.
Oh, okay. I was thinking you was up at 2 or 3.
Sometimes I am, but I usually get up around 4.
Okay. All right.
Our time, yeah. But that was 2:00 Pacific time. So
yeah. Well, all the clocks changed at 2:00.
Yeah, I don't know. I just must have just missed it.
I remember my brother telling a story about being in the Navy, and they were going to cross the international date line. And the captain made an announcement and said anybody who wanted to take a picture, go out there and take a picture of the international date line. Of course, it's a joke because it's an imaginary line. Matt said there would be at least, 20, 30 guys lined up with their camera on take a picture of the international date line.
Oh, man.
It's like, and they get to tote around a gun. That's the problem right there.
So if you go back across the timeline, does that mean
I don't know how that you went back in time.
Does it mean you travel in time? Travel back in time.
Interesting. You could, if you lived on the international dateline, which I don't even know where it's at. It runs somewhere through the Indian Ocean or somewhere over there. Anyway, if you lived on the international dateline, you could celebrate your birthday twice. You could,
that's what I'm saying.
One day and then flip over and go back.
Yeah, I'll meet you down at Bob's bar on Tuesday. I'll meet you over at Ted's bar on Wednesday.
Yeah, celebrate my birthday.
Yeah. Speaking of birthdays, we got a couple birthdays this week. Nathan's got a birthday. Steve's got a birthday.
I knew Steve's was coming up. I can never remember when in March. I always just remember March.
March 13th.
13th.
Yeah. Want me to make you feel old?
No, not really.
He's 45.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't
he,
know. What to-
he was like 12 the other day, I thought.
Matt hits the double nickel this year.
Oh, man.
See, that's the great thing about us having our birthday in January is like we've already had our birthday. So you can talk about, oh, yeah, so and so is going to have their birthday this year because we don't have another birthday till next year.
Yeah, we done suffered. So it's okay to make others suffer. It's all right.
So sometime in September, Matt will hit double nickel.
Gotcha. Well, there's been a lot of good basketball on, and
there has been some really good basketball.
The tournaments are all fixing to start. And then I saw that Arkansas football spring practice started today. So that's going on.
Yeah, did you hear that they're the first one I heard of was Ohio State coach. I think the Nebraska coach might be doing the same thing. But they're not really doing a spring game or anything like that. They're going to do some sort of skills competition and kind of make it like the pros do now, like 7-on-7, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Because
what? Go ahead. You think that's bad? Good?
Well, he says because there's a lot of teams that poach from spring ball or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I heard Dan Hurley talking about recruiting next year. And he says he already has kids in his program this year that know they're going into the transfer portal and know what school they're going to.
That's wild. I'm not surprised.
So that's got to be tampering somewhere in there, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. They talk about that all the time. They'd be like, yeah, that's why Pittman was like, he said, we're going to do the spring game for a couple of reasons. One, he goes, fans want to see their team play. They want to see the kids play. It's for them, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he said about the Neal stuff and the poaching and stuff like that. He says that's already going on by the time that happens anyway. Because first thing happens is, they'll go, their agent will go to LSU and be like, hey, or he'll be like, all right, I'll pay you $20 to come to Arkansas. Guy says, okay. He comes to Arkansas. The next year, by the time next year rolls around, his agents went to LSU and said, hey, can you give us 30? He said, yeah, I could probably do 30. And then he goes to Texas and says, hey, can you get us 40? And then by then the kid comes back to Pittman mad. So you underpaid me last year, and I want this. Actually, they don't even say that. They just say, you underpaid me, and I'm transferred. And then they transfer. That had nothing to do with what we was talking about, probably, but I heard that today.
Well, I feel like the argument back when we didn't pay players was because there was one of the reasons that people wanted to start paying players was there was too much dealings going on behind the scene and too much nefarious stuff going on. And if we just put it out in the open and we just paid these kids, then there wouldn't be this tampering going on. And so we start paying the kids, and now we got tampering still going on. It's like, if it's the agent that's doing that, then the way that you stop it is by punishing the agent somehow, coming in and saying, okay, well, whatever. I don't know what kind of punishment you could give towards the agent, but if it's the agent that is actually doing that, then that's where you need to cut the head off the snake right there.
Yeah, I know. These agents are just like in pro sports, man. They are, and they don't have to be licensed or nothing. They can just be your uncle.
Well, they're used car salesmen is what they
mean, they're charging these kids like 20% commission when they should be charging like 3%.
Well, I mean, again, that goes back to the kid being smart enough not to go with somebody who's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but they're not educated enough to know. They're still kids. It's like, I
I
didn't know. Wouldn't have known at 18. I
this
wouldn't have.
Yeah, the second that you start a job where you work off commission, I don't trust you at all. Like, I don't trust anything that comes out of your mouth because you're trying to make money off of me. Now, if you're just an hourly dude working for the man, then I could probably believe everything that you're about to tell me because you have nothing to gain out of lying to me. You know what I mean? But you put the
True.
word commission in there, and now all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. Whatever. I don't believe anything you're telling me.
Yeah, that's true.
They're used car salesmen, is what they are.
They're the worst, apparently. Anyway,
isn't it crazy? Like this is, I don't know. That might be a trigger. I might not need to say something like that.
Trigger.
Yeah.
For who?
I don't want to trigger anybody. Well, I don't want to be called a racist or anything like that, but
okay, well, don't say anything that might be.
In slavery days, they sold slaves. There were people that just made a living going around collecting slaves and taking them to market and selling them. And I see a lot of similarity in these these agents for these athletes or whatever. I mean, it's kind of like human trafficking, but it's legal.
It sort of is. I mean, it's all
really
about it's all about money and what can you what kind of athlete is he? What can he bring to the team,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's pretty wild out there, man. That's for sure. I don't know if I could. I've heard him talk about it feeling like slavery before. I've heard him say that.
Oh, please. Ain't none of them guys know what slavery feels like.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, you know what I mean? Being tied to something you
I
can't get out of.
I definitely see how they could probably feel like they were entrapped or in a, but locked into a place or something like that. But you start, it's one of the things.
It's like what you just said. They don't really have no say so where they go or what they, I mean, they have a little bit, like maybe in the pros.
Oh, please, man! Did you see?
If you're Aaron Rodgers,
did you see the story over Myles Garrett? So Myles Garrett wants a trade. He wants championships. He wants to walk around in confetti. He makes this big ordeal about wanting to play for championships, and so he wants a trade. And the GM comes out and says, I don't see a world in where we trade Myles Garrett. He's the best player that we got. And then Myles Garrett's like, well, I want to talk to the owner. And the owner's like, no. I don't do that. That's why I hired a GM. Kudos to this owner. I wish Jerry would do stuff like that, but Jerry don't. But he says, you talk to the GM. So Myles Garrett's a disgruntled. Well, now they've come out with a 5-year, $125 million guaranteed deal, and all of a sudden Myles Garrett don't have a problem playing in Cleveland. All of a sudden he's fine just playing in Cleveland. It don't bother him at all. And I think it's hilarious.
Yeah,
it's absolutely hilarious. He wants to play for championships. What? $40 million a year? Never mind. I don't need to play for championships. I can play for $40 million a year.
I can't say I blame you. I probably would too.
Oh, I would sell out big time. You offered me 40 mil. Heck yeah, I'd sell out no time flat.
That's what Dave Chappelle said. He was like, he goes, do I like Pepsi? Do I like Coke? Depends on which one's paying me the most.
Exactly.
That's true. Well, anything else? I got
good weekend for the Hogs, man. Good weekend for the Hogs. Good win up against Mississippi State. Finish off the season. Drew South Carolina in the first round. That's not exactly, we didn't exactly have a good showing against South Carolina. The last couple of times that we faced South Carolina, we haven't had very good showing. So I'm hoping for a little bit of redemption right here.
Yeah.
I watched I was just about to bring that up. I watched Cal talk about it, and he's like, I don't even like this tournament.
Yeah, I don't care about
He's like, I don't care about this tournament.
That just rubs people the wrong way. Some people, you know what I mean? They'll be picking that apart. look at him, he don't care. Look at him. This is
Well,
how
I
people
mean,
are.
he's got a point. He's got
I
a
see what
point.
he's saying. He's like, well, let's improve our seating.
Yeah.
But he's full of it too. He likes winning. He ain't. I mean, he's
Well, I
he's being
mean,
sarcastic because his next line was, "That's why we won so many."
yeah.
Yeah, I don't care about it. That's why we won so many. Obviously, he does care about winning.
He's got a point though. If you're going to go to the championship game, you better go ahead and win it. Because if you don't, you got to play like 2 days later or whatever. You know what I mean? So let's play a little hypothetical.
Anyway.
Let's play a little what if. We're gonna play a what if. Tell me what you think. All right.
All right.
I think right now we're projected, like I've seen anywhere from a 9 to an 11 seed is kind of like where we're projected right now. Yeah. Let's say we go on a run and we win the SEC tournament. Okay. Let's just say all the hell freezes over and we win the SEC tournament. Okay. How much of a jump do you think that helps you seed wise, as far as like we go from say a 10 seed? Is that going to bump us all the way up to a 4 or a 5? No, it's not. It's going to jump us up to maybe a 7. We might make a 7 or an 8. That's about it.
I've heard several podcasts the last couple of days that have said that Saturday and Sunday don't matter of the tournament. It's just like the first couple of games, and then by then they've already started trying to fill in their bracket.
So even if you make a run, you win the SEC tournament. Say you're South Carolina, and you're not even projected to make the NCAA tournament, but you win it. Okay, so now they have to give you a bid. Where they put you at?
Probably like a 12 or something. You know what I mean? They're not going to give you a 1 or nothing like that. That's all that stuff's already.
That's what I'm saying. If we're already projected as a 9 to 11 seed, and this thing would maybe bump you up to an 8 or a 7, which I don't even believe that. So you're what's the point of winning it other than just saying, hey, we won the SEC tournament?
We need to win. They need to win at least one more game, I think. Just they need to keep winning until the tournament, until it's okay. Well, here's the teams for the tournament. You know what I mean? Like, just keep winning until then.
Well, they're not going to announce the teams for the tournament until the SEC tournament is over because they can't.
I know, but
I think we are the last tournament to wrap up too. Seems like that. It seems like that every year.
Yeah, it seems like they always have the ACC one on Sunday as well or something.
And what really sucks is we pulled since we did go ahead and win out our last 2 ball games, we end up pulling the noon game. So if we win again, we play again at noon. And if we win again, we play again at noon. It's like, dadgum, dude. These early ball games suck, man. My team's not awake yet. I need to be playing some 8 o'clock games here.
Well, they were awake the other day. Cal said they practiced like 3 days in a row at noon in the morning.
Yeah, they need to.
Yeah. He's like, we did everything we could to be ready. I'm like, well, you need to keep doing that. Wake them up about 5 o'clock in the morning and have them out there. Go to bed about 7.
And then there's a rumor going around that Boogie Flan might show up for the NCAA tournament. How you feel about that?
I'm torn.
I mean, a body's needed.
Yeah, no, I mean,
he definitely. I don't feel like he comes back and starts. Like he's got to just play a few minutes off the bench or something like that.
I started to say, I would think he'd have to earn his way kind of back into playing minutes. You know what I mean? If he takes him and just puts him right back in and puts the ball in his hand, I'm
gonna be pissed. I am, unless he just like shows out and does everything right, which he wasn't earlier in the season. So I don't know why he would.
I wonder how much he looks like he's paying attention over there. He looks engaged. He's usually the first one up off the bench to cheer. You know, he's at least engaged in the game, you know what I mean? Instead of like being checked out. So I wonder how much he's actually like been listening, been paying attention, and actually learning, or is he I just got to get through this thing. I'm off to the NBA next year because I saw a thing. The insider chat thing I'm in came out with the inside scoop of what they think the team's going to do next year. Let me read it to you.
I don't know. Do I want you to read it to me, or is it gonna make me mad?
No, I don't make you mad. So supposedly, roster per sources.
Okay, all right.
Keep in mind this is a fluid. Okay, they put that in there. But draft, hiring an agent, Nelly, Adu, and Boogie, which Nelly and Adu are seniors, so I already knew that. And then Boogie.
See, I don't think Boogie ought to. I think, well, that's up to him. Whatever.
And then combine, but no agent. Big Z, Thero. Neither one of them are hiring an agent right now. And then coming back, you got Carter Knox, DJ Wagner, and Billy Richmond.
That's 3 good ones to come back. What about Trevin? They say anything about Trevin?
He wasn't mentioned.
Wasn't mentioned at all.
I thought that was strange too.
I feel like he's really come on these last 2-3 ball games. And what's crazy about this is when
I should have named the show different.
When Boogie went down, I made the comment that who knows, maybe this will sparkle, maybe the ball get distributed more people get shots up. And that's what happened. And we started doing okay, even with Boogie gone. And then when Thero goes down, I'm like, dang, because I am not a Trevin Brazil dude. Like, he has really pissed me off this last year and a half.
I know.
I was like, well, that's it. We're done, But then the same thing happens with Brazil. It's like he gets pushed into the situation where he has to perform, and he does. And I feel like that shows that we need more leadership on the team, because you shouldn't have to be thrust into a position where you have to perform. Every time you go out there, you should want your chance to perform, your chance to work, your chance to score. And it just irritates me that, I don't know, that it takes that kind of situation to get that kind of effort out of these guys. Like, why do you wait until your back's against the wall before you finally freaking play well?
Yeah. I heard Cal say that TB's problem is all mental anyway.
I'm sure it is. I guarantee you it is, man.
He could be all world if he just get out of his head.
Well, I wasn't going to say this at the beginning of the year, and halfway through the year, I was actually praying that something, we could trade him or something like that. A new portal rule, we could trade TB. Now I'm like, well, if he's going to actually play, he's still got one more year left. Bring him on back and let's, see what happens. Because at least he could be a body. You know what I mean?
Where'd you hear about Boogie?
Oh, it was like a couple of tweets or whatever on X. So you were telling me X got hacked. Somebody went after X?
Yeah, I mean, they took it down. It was down earlier today.
Oh, I must have been asleep for that part.
Yeah, I guess so. I missed it too, but it was down for a little bit.
I heard Pat McAfee talking about it. I picked up my phone and boom, it was on my phone. And I was like, I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I guess it was earlier this morning or something. I don't know. I was at work, so as well. But yeah, I don't know who they're tracing it out. That's what Elon's tweet said. Tracing now. So they'll catch whoever it was. They're gonna catch him. And he's a billionaire. He can do whatever he wants. So
it was probably China.
Could have been, or them Ukrainians are mad at everybody right now, ain't they? Or something.
That's the way Trump always says, China. That's how Trump always says it. It's like, why do you enunciate that so much? China.
You ass. It's U.S. U.S.
Yeah. You ass.
That poor thing. Yeah, that's what Ham said. Yeah, he's wondering why we're. Yeah, they got. Yeah, it could have been China. I don't know who it was.
I don't know who it was.
I don't know, but they'll find out. I'm sure he'll find out.
I know there's,
they'll find out for sure.
I know there's all kinds of. They show a TV show where somebody's hacking and getting into security places and we're inside the such and such. I'm like
That's cool. It ain't like that.
I don't know. I have no idea. That's what I'm saying. Like they
There ain't nobody banging on a keyboard typing nothing out. They got some little machine they hook up to it, or they got some,
It's usually they like to use the word algorithm. It's some sort of algorithm. It's like, oh wow, that's awesome.
So you say it uses a pattern. Okay, okay, all right, good. Okay,
Is that-
that's good.
is that
Good
what-
to know.
Is that what algorithm?
Basically, yeah, basically,
There you go.
it's a set of rules
Yeah.
to make something do what you want it to do. You know what I mean? But it's a
No,
mathematical equation.
I don't understand any of this. I don't understand any of it. Like somebody said one
Yeah.
time, it's just ones and zeros.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, it is, but that's hard to explain. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Whatever.
There's a big long line of ones and zeros, and one's on, zero is off. So the computer reads that.
I'm with you, man. But I'm not with
I
you.
can't read it, but a computer can.
There was a video on X today of this guy, and he's talking with
Here you go.
the AI, Chat GBT or whatever it's called, and he had another one, and he had them talking to each other,
Yeah.
and then one of them realized that the other one was, oh, you're an artificial intelligence too. I'm an artificial intelligence. Would you like to talk in this jibber jabber or whatever it was called? And they were like, blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden, like the guy was like, I can't even understand what
I'm gonna blow your mind. I'm gonna blow your mind right now. You use ones and zeros all the time, and you don't know it. You see it all the time, and you don't see it.
Well,
It's on almost every on-off switch that you have, especially your power tools. I bet you there's an I or one and a zero for off, on and off. It's a 1 and a 0. It's on all kinds of stuff. My coffee pot, 1 and a 0. A
well,
1 and a 0.
I thought it was usually that circle with the line through it.
There is that sometimes.
it's
That's a 1 and a 0, though.
I guess that's a 1 and a 0.
But you'll see them sometimes with the actual switch. The 0 will be on that side, and the 1 will be on the other side. On and off switch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just look, and my light switch just says off and on. It doesn't say 1 and 0.
Yeah, probably not light switch, but like
I'm gonna order some new ones.
on your power tools, I bet you. Most of them have that anyway. But yeah, there you go.
That's the assumption that I have power tools.
You use ones. Well, do you own a house? Do you have a weed eater?
I do have a weed eater.
Logic tells me you got power tools. Oh my gosh. Inside joke. Yeah, so I named the show NFL Free Agent Frenzy. We ain't talked about NFL yet.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right.
All these people tuning in.
Oh yeah, orange ham.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Ham.
Yeah, I do appreciate you, man.
Okay, I'm just gonna share my screen here because I don't know. I don't know all of them. Let me see here. NFL.
There were a couple of really big ones.
Let me refresh this.
The defensive pass rusher from the Eagles.
So here's this is hot off the presses here. This is the newest stuff here. Might not know any of these people. We might not know any of these people here, but Bradley Bozeman is a punter or something. I don't know. I don't know what that guy is. Safety Tony Adams, Bobby Brown.
Bobby Brown.
Bobby Brown. It's his prerogative. Tonga from the Cardinals.
Yeah. So far, I don't know any of these guys, man.
I don't know these people either. Here you go. Hobbs went to the Packers. No. Kuntz,
man. Where'd he go?
Kuntz went to the Raiders.
Oh, he's re-signing with the Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were quite a few that got some re-signs.
Patrick Jones. Let's see. I'm looking for some big names here.
The big ones I saw was the rusher for the Eagles, Reddick, I think is his name. No, not Reddick. Redding.
Oh, here's a good one. This is a big one.
Which one?
This one here. Oh, Tunsil. He's going to Washington. He's a left tackle. He's really good.
Yeah, Kansas City got the big guy, the big offensive tackle from Atlanta, I think it was.
So I think.
Wait.
Look at this one guy here. Jarrett went to the Bears. That's the D tackle from the Falcons.
Yeah. It wasn't Jared Allen. It was Jonathan Allen that got released. I don't know if he's been picked up by anybody yet.
I need a more condensed list here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You need a list of players that actually matter. Do you have one of that players that actually
No, I don't have one.
Signed for big money?
Let's see. Steelers traded for wideout DK Metcalf.
Oh, yeah. DK went to the Steelers.
The Raiders picked up Geno Smith. Did you see that?
Yeah, because there was a meme. There was a meme of, I guess, Ben Roethlisberger had put out a picture of himself with a picture of DK on one side and their other wide receiver. And he's like, I think I'm ready to come out of retirement.
Yeah. I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah, really.
Oh, Geno reunited with what's his name?
Pete
coach.
Carroll.
Yeah, Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll, which is, I don't know.
And then your boy Sam Darnold went to the Seattle.
Yeah. You're naming a lot of teams here. I haven't heard one mention of the Dallas Cowboys.
Let's went to the Jets.
Can somebody wake up Jerry and tell him free agency is going on? Does anybody have Jerry's number where they can text him and say, "Hey, Jerry"?
No Cowboys.
And they got something like 48 million or something. They're 48 million under the cap. It's like they got money to spend. They haven't signed Parsons. They haven't, dude. I'm telling you.
Let's see what this is. Ranking free agents. Can we not just get a list? I mean, why do we have to have this big long thing about each one? I just want a list.
Dadgum people. Chris Godwin. I heard he got signed though.
He signed, yeah.
He
signed too, I think.
No.
Sam Darnold, he signed.
He signed with who? The Steelers?
No, Sam signed with Seattle.
Oh, so Geno goes to LA, Sam goes to Seattle.
Yeah.
All right.
Russell went to Seattle, back to they went to the Raiders as well, I believe.
Okay.
Follow Pete.
All right.
I
saw Devontae Adams he was signed with somebody. Oh, the Rams, the LA Rams.
Yeah, Rams. I don't know where any of these guys have gone yet. Some of these are still free agents, but that's Joey Bosa. This guy here, this guy's really good. Javon Holland. He's really good. He's going on a fantasy team.
How far away is the draft?
When is the draft? April? No. Yeah, April, right? End of April usually. Here's your picks. When's the Cowboys pick? Do you even know?
Oh, I think
this-
we're picking like 48th or something like that. No, I don't remember.
Let's look it up because we're gonna have a draft party.
We are going to have a draft party.
There we go. April 24th through the 26th.
Yeah, we're only doing the first round, though, right? Correct.
Yeah. We'll just do like the first 10 picks or something.
Yeah, I'm not doing 2 days worth of NFL picks.
Well, where's the Cowboys pick?
Mm.
We got to get to their pick, don't we?
Well, it depends. I don't know their situation with how much they've traded away or anything like that. I would guess probably 19th or 20th is probably where they'll pick. Can you not just find
Titans
a draft list?
That's what I just searched.
Hey Siri.
Uh-huh.
Who picks first in the NFL draft this year?
Tennessee.
She gave me a whole list because she's good. We picked 12th.
Let's see. Well, it's okay. We can do the first 12 picks.
We can do the whole first round. I don't care to do the whole first round. I'm just saying that.
That's good. That could be a long.
That's all I'm doing is the first round. I'm not doing 2 days worth of NFL picks. Siri is still listening to me. Go away, Siri. Oh, yeah. I get.
That's not what I wanted. Go to Google. Go to the Google.
Yeah.
Oh, you lied to me. I went there a minute ago and you lied.
What are you talking about?
There we go. There's a list finally.
I guess the Steelers are keeping their left tackle Dan Moore for $82 million.
Oof. That sounds expensive.
It does sound expensive. Cornerback J.C. Horn agrees to a 4-year, $100 million extension, $70 million guaranteed with the Panthers.
Good grief. There's the live update, supposedly. Josh Dobbs going to the Patriots.
Yeah.
Vikings signed safety Bubba Bolden.
Well, I got one story here that says the Bears continue their O-line overhaul, signing center Drew Dowman to a 3-year, $42 million deal. Good for
Who was
you.
Who was that?
Drew Dowman, the Bears center. Second highest paid center.
Oh.
You know, I don't know why more teams don't do the extension route, because you end up paying less money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like they just signed Garrett and made Myles Garrett like the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL, or not non-quarterback, defensive player in the NFL or whatever. When they could have signed him an extension last year and stayed out of that, having to pay that max contract or whatever. It ends up costing you money that year, but it saves you money in the long run, is what I'm saying. Like if getting Dak's deal done. You should have already had Micah's deal done. Now that Garrett's made this kind of money, do you know what you're going to have to pay? What you're going to have to pay Parsons now, man? Jeez, Weeze, Parsons is going to make.
Oh, dang, I got way off the page. You weren't watching me at all, were you?
No,
My bad.
What up, Floppy? Good to see you, man.
What's up, man? Yeah, there wasn't much NFL stuff going on there, huh?
So, since we have our two people that watch us on right now, what is our show schedule this week going to look like? I know we ain't doing one tomorrow.
We're not doing one tomorrow. We are going to go watch the Arkansas Razorback baseball team.
Yeah, me, you, and Orange Ham are going to go watch some Razorback baseball.
I was gonna play it off like, hey, if the next person to donate,
the next person that says "Woo Pig" gets to go to the Razorback game with us.
Gets to go with us to the Razorback ball game tomorrow.
Orange Ham on cue. Woo Pigs are.
Ham, you're in. We got you.
You're in, Ham. You're going to the game with us. Matter of fact, you just go ahead and get the tickets. We'll pay you when we get there. Oh, shit. That's funny, man.
Let's see what's still going on.
Yeah, I'm kind of tempted to wear my Razorback hat, but my UCA shirt. Because I'm a Hog fan all the way, but I live in Conway, and I don't want UCA to do poorly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you do.
Well, I want them. I would love to go and see a run rule. I'd love for us just to come out, bats on fire, Irondale hits like 3, and Kendall walks it off or something like that. That would be awesome to see. But a little part of me is like, well, if I'm going to drive up there, I want to see 9 innings of some good baseball. Dadgummit.
I want to see a bunch of home runs. I hope they just go wacky.
Yeah, I hope we get to see. I think we will get to see some home runs. Weather's supposed to be beautiful tomorrow. I'm taking Wednesday off work.
So, you are?
Yeah, man, I am. I was thinking about doing it anyway because the Hogs basketball plays at 12.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about taking it off anyway. And now that we're going to the baseball game the night before and I won't get home till around midnight, I'm like, screw that, man. I'm taking Wednesday off.
Yeah. I got to work real early Thursday so that I get my hours in, and then we're going to do the surgery, and I took off Friday. So hopefully they play for a couple of days.
Yeah. Well,
if not, I'll be ready to watch some tournament basketball for the next 4 days.
I got quite a bit of PTO, so not only am I going to take Wednesday off, but they're going to pay me for it. Dadgummit.
There you go. Yeah, I get paid for Friday, so
yeah. I'll probably, if the Hogs advance, I don't know. Getting another day off might be tough, but I might have to. Not feeling too good. Bless you. Bless you. Don't turn toward the camera till you know there's big old booger right there.
My bad. Sorry about that. I was going to tell you tonight, Arkansas State plays at 6:00. I believe it's the championship.
It is the championship game. Do you know who they're playing? When I shut it off the other night, it was between. Mm-hmm. Well, we had knocked out the 1 seed, so it was between the 3 and the 2 seed or something like that.
Troy.
We got to face Troy, and I do believe that the women's Arkansas State team is playing in their championship game. So both Arkansas State basketball teams are playing in the Sun Belt Championship.
Yeah, they need to punch their ticket right here if they can.
Pinion had a great game the other night. Ended up with like 23 points, 5 rebounds. He did a really good job.
Duke could shoot.
I expected more out of Darius Ford. They bring him in off the bench and everything. I thought for sure at ASU he'd be a starter.
Yeah, he was most of the time. He's not a starter anymore.
No, he's like the sixth man that they bring up off the bench.
Gotcha.
And then he got in the game the other night and freaking turned the ball over right away. I was like, come on, man. I'm rooting for you.
Well, Arkansas State, they come in as a 2.5 point favorite. So,
well, you think
we'll
you would think that they would win this ball game just for the simple fact that they played the 1 seed and beat the 1 seed. Everybody after that should be an easier ball game. You would think.
Troy's pretty good, man. Arkansas played Troy, and I think we only won by like 12 or something like that. So they're pretty good. They're not bad.
But Arkansas State's pretty good this year.
They are pretty good.
I think they've got 22 wins now this year. That's pretty freaking good, man.
Yeah, I hope they win, man. I want to see them in the tournament.
I'd like to see them in the tournament. How cool would that be if Arkansas drew Arkansas State in the first round?
That would be wild, bro.
Like actually be forced to face each other. That would be, because we won't do it on regular terms. So just be forced to face each other.
It's not really a whole lot of other games on big name games anyway that St. Mary's plays. Gonzaga plays tonight in their tournament. 15-point favorite.
Okay, Ham, I totally agree with you as far as what you said about Jerry needing to trade up and get a running back, get an offensive line, get something. He needs good players. Here's the problem, okay? It's Jerry freaking Jones, all right? He's like that guy that wants to go and be a race car driver, but he wants to do it with just vintage race cars, nothing new. Like he wants to put up a Camaro against a Lambo. You know what I mean? And he thinks his Camaro can beat a Lambo. So he wants to win, but he wants to do it his way.
He used to spend a lot of money.
That was the whole problem with him and Jimmy Johnson. Was Jimmy was getting all the credit for the Cowboys winning, and Jerry didn't like Jimmy getting all the credit for him winning. He brought in Barry Switzer, won another one, and Jerry's attitude was kind of like, see, I could do it with anybody. Well, you were still playing with Jimmy's boys, okay?
Yeah.
And then that year, he got rid of a whole bunch of Jimmy's boys, and what happened to the Cowboys? We have sucked ever since. Ever since.
Yeah, I think I saw somewhere they've averaged 8-8 in the last 30 years. That's their average, 8-8.
It's I don't know.
I don't know about a running back first. I don't even know about. They need.
You know who I would love to see him take at number 12? You know who I'd love to see him take at number 12, and I think he'd still be on the board.
Who's that?
Scatterboo, man. Take Scatterboo.
That sounds about like Jerry. He'd take a risk on something like that.
Dude, Scatterboo would be awesome, dude. The hardest worker you'd have on the field, man. Hardest worker you'd have on the field. I don't even know if he's in the draft this year or if he's coming back to play football.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure he'll be in the draft. I'm sure, but I don't think he's big enough, man. I don't know. Barry wasn't a very big back. Of course, he doesn't run like Barry. He runs like Derrick Henry, which is his problem in the NFL. He needs to run more like Barry. Oh, hell yeah, I'd sell jerseys, man. I'd have a Scatterboo Cowboys jersey. I'm thinking about going and getting one. He don't even play for the Cowboys. Oh, my gosh. He's such a nerd.
And when we're talking about running backs, you're only talking about, like, the problem I have about like if it's not a Derrick Henry or somebody that's proven, is a running back's lifespan is usually only about 2-3 years. And then, so going and spending I would much rather get one in the draft than go and get one in free agency, spend a crap ton of money and get one good year out of them. You know what I mean?
You want to do that for Henry?
I think Henry still has a couple of years left in him. He's just built different, dude. There are some running backs that are just different. Emmett was one of those. Emmett could take a beating and still get up. But like Zeke had 2-3 good years in him, and he was pretty much, it was time to be a backup, and that's how most running backs are, because it's such a punishment in the NFL. You got to be a freak of nature. You got to be a Derrick Henry or a Thurman Thomas or Marcus Allen or something like that to have a long career at running back position. It even took Bo out. I mean, of all the people it took out Bo Jackson. I mean, it's just it's a tough position, man, and it's not a very long career.
Just think if Bo had played, man. Just think if Bo had played his whole career.
Oh man, he would have broke so many records.
He would have broke.
If just imagine if Bo could have had the length of career that Emmett had. Just imagine that, dude. He'd have set. Dude, there's no telling how many records he would have set.
Fastest, strongest.
Well, he ran out of his hip. That's how strong he was. He got tackled and ran out of his hip. They told stories. I never saw it in person, nothing like that. But they tell stories of him standing in like thigh-high water and jumping up and doing a backflip out of the water. Just try to jump out of the water. It's damn near impossible.
I don't know, man. I've seen him do some crazy stuff. He ran up the side of a wall one time, caught that ball, and then ran up the side of the wall and back down. And it was like, what the heck? He's freaking Spider-Man.
Yeah. So they had a debate the other day on ESPN, and I don't think it's much of a debate, but what's harder as far as a two-way player? Going both ways like Travis Hunter wants to do in the NFL, or going both ways like Ohtani does in Major League, where he hits and pitches?
Depends on what you mean by harder, I guess.
Well, which one do you think is harder? Like, if you see two people doing that, which one would you being successful at it? Like Travis Hunter hadn't even been successful at it on the pro level yet. I don't even know if it's possible on the pro level.
I don't know about it easier, but football would be more painful.
Well, do you think hitting a Major League Baseball is the hardest thing to do in pro sports?
I think it's pretty darn hard.
Seriously, do you like if all the other things you can think in pro sports, got to be the hardest thing to do is hit a baseball, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess individually, I'm thinking of a running back trying to run through 11 dudes trying to kill him. That's not easy. Yeah,
he's not successful all the time either. You know what I mean? But neither is the batter, though. The batter's only successful like 30% of the time.
Yeah, and that's good.
That's if he's good. Yeah, that's if he's good. So Ohtani batting 300 and then being able to pitch, because you're also talking about throwing a ball in the 90s, and there ain't a lot of people that can do that.
No, he's definitely special. I'd say that for sure. Ain't nobody had ever done it before because they could.
I would definitely say physically it would have to be the Travis Hunter thing, because the punishment that you take and the punishment that you give out on both sides of the ball has got to take a toll on you after a while.
Yeah. Yeah, Deion and Bo were rare for sure.
Yeah. That's what got me thinking about it, was Bo playing baseball and Deion doing that. And I've heard Deion in an interview before say that if there had been no Bo Jackson, there'd have been no Deion Sanders. Like, nobody would have let him do it if Bo hadn't already have been doing it.
One of the things I remember about Bo is I was going to watch the All-Star game. One of the only times I ever watched the All-Star game. It's baseball, right? He freaking walks up, first pitch,
Yeah.
schwack, hits home run. It's like, what the heck is this guy do?
I don't know if it was the same year, but there was one All-Star game where the Griffies hit back-to-back home runs in an All-Star game. Like Ken Griffey Sr. stepped up and then Junior stepped up and hit another one back-to-back.
I think they did it in a real game too. There was another father-son duo. I don't remember who it was. There was another father-son duo that had 2 home runs in the same day or same game or something like that. I forget.
Was it Ripken?
No, I was thinking Clemente, but that ain't right. That ain't right.
No, it couldn't be Clemente. I don't think so.
I don't know who it was. I mean, Babe Ruth was a pitcher too, right?
Yeah, Babe, but I also know that they didn't have a radar gun back then, and I don't know what Babe was throwing. Like, was Babe throwing smoke?
He was pretty good. Yeah, I mean, he was a good pitcher, and then they traded him to the Yanks, and then he just was, I don't think he pitched much after that.
No, he became mostly a hitter and a outfielder, I think. The what I'm saying is like we're talking. I've often wondered that about baseball past or whatever. Like, what were they throwing? Were guys throwing in the 80s and 90s, or were these guys like throwing like 75 or whatever? You know what I mean?
I bet they're throwing hard back then too.
You think?
Yeah, maybe they wouldn't. I remember in '86 or whatever. Oh, what's his name was throwing 100.
Well, I'm just thinking
So,
that the
that was that
swing,
far away.
the swing has changed so much, which makes me think. Because if you watch the old ones, the black and white ones, and they're swinging, them guys aren't stepping. They're not nothing. I mean, Ted Williams is just rotating with his hips and whacking that thing out of the park.
Mm.
And I'm just like, can you do that with a 90-mile-an-hour fastball? Because like nowadays, these guys are in stances. They're taking these big, huge steps towards the swing has advanced so much. That makes me think that on the other end, the pitch has got to have, because if you watch the old black and whites, like they do this crazy wind up where they throw their leg up. Like, how much speed are you getting off that? You know what I mean?
Well, some maybe not all of them, but there had been a couple of them. I mean, probably why Sandy Koufax was so good. He was the only one that could do that. Probably.
Well, I think he was also one of the first that started really to manipulate the ball as far as like curve balls and splitters and stuff like that. And the other guys were, you were throwing the ball, you didn't think of different ways to throw the ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just threw it.
A lot of that came from the Negro leagues or whatever. Like those guys were doing stuff that like the other guys had never seen or whatever.
Yeah.
But I've often wondered, because the radar gun, I don't know when it was invented or whatever, but then we got to know how fast these pitchers were actually throwing once the radar gun came around. But there was a long time, a period where they played baseball before the radar gun. I just want to know how fast these guys were throwing. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, I don't know how fast they were throwing. It looks really fast when you watch the old black and whites, because it's always feels like it's sped up, like they're.
Well, you remember that old black and white video where the pitcher is going to throw against the guy on the motorcycle?
No.
Okay, and they, I want to say that they surmised that the guy threw it 110 mile an hour.
Because of the speed of the motorcycle?
Like the motorcycle's coming up behind him.
Yeah.
And as it gets close, he rears back and throws the ball about at the same time the guy goes by. And the ball beats the bike to the thing.
Okay. All right. I see what you're saying, but I feel like I feel like I feel like somehow their
maybe it's 105.
their method is flawed somehow.
I've seen
kinda
this.
like-
I don't remember who it is.
You seen
Might have been Sandy Koufax.
you remember the song about Wolf Creek Pass? You know?
Yes. Yeah.
The guy says he starts counting telephone poles out the window, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. One by one, carry the 2. I figured we'd pass 4,527 telephone poles.
That's what that motorcycle experiment makes me think of.
If you've never heard Wolf Creek Pass, go listen to it. It's worth the listen. It's funny.
It's silly. C.W. McCall.
It's so old, but it's so funny. If you get
It's
a
the
chance.
same guy that did Convoy and
I bet you Rubber Duck.
yeah, he did. That might have been his big hit. Was Convoy? I don't think.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
I don't think he really had another one.
Okay.
Well, Wolf Creek Pass, it was good, but I don't think it got very popular.
My dad liked that one. He really liked that.
That was the first time I'd ever heard it when your dad played it for me. It was I cracked up, dude, because it reminds me of your dad, especially this part where he starts counting telephone poles. I figured he was 2,200 telephone poles an hour.
I looked down and Earl's cigar rolled around, jumped inside the coverall pants or something. I forget what it is.
So he stepped on the brake, went all the way to the floor, just kind of stayed there right on the floor. It's kind of like stepping on a plum.
That's totally my dad, dude. Oh my gosh. We made a trip across the county one time in a big old water truck with no brakes.
Oh, really?
Had a big like F-250 in front of this is a big like 2-ton water truck, right? Had a F-250 in front of it. If we got to going too fast, he'd back up and bump it, it's gonna slow us down a little bit, and then like when we come to stop signs and stuff like that, make sure we come to a stop. Woo, it's scary, man. You guys don't know. You just don't know, man.
It's back in the day. It's back in the day, right there.
Yeah, man. You gotta do some stuff sometimes, man. Had to get it over there so it could get fixed. How you supposed to get there? Well, you have a 2-ton truck towed? How you supposed to do that when you're poor? You can't do that.
We'll hook a strap to it, is what we'll do.
Well, will you drive it? I don't know. You think you can drive it? I think I can drive it. Let's go. That's about how that combo went. Anyway. Anything else before we get out of here, bro? It's already 5:00.
No. Was a good weekend to be a Hog fan. Hogs win in basketball, and then they go on a 3-game sweep of Portland in baseball. The second game, probably the funnest one to watch out of all of them. We come into the 7th inning, and it's 8-2, and we need 2 runs to run rule them. And we load up the bases, and they load up the bases on purpose to face Kendall Diggs. Yeah. And Diggs' first pitch, which was awesome because he never swings at the first pitch. First pitch, grand slam, we win the game, walk off, home run. Yeah. That was probably the most fun one. Portland's not a great.
The most fun was the one you missed, probably.
Probably.
I was sitting there going, they scored again.
Portland, not that great of a team. But, this. Yeah. I think a lot of these games leading up to the season are confidence builders. He's just trying to get them playing right, get everybody hitting.
Well, he got like 14, 15 dudes. He's got to figure out who he's going to play all the time. You know what I mean?
It's tough, man. It's tough because you're taking out a really good dude to put in a really good dude. It's like, dadgum,
I know.
It makes you wish.
Big Brother Aloy was co-player of the week. Saw that.
I wish we could. I wish it was like football and you could like all right, you'll have inning 1, and then you'll do inning 2, and then you get back in there for inning 3, and then we'll get you back in there for inning 4. But
Yeah,
baseball and their stupid rules can't do that.
I know. Stupid,
man.
Well, if you're struggling out there or feel like you might hurt yourself or hurt someone, there's a national hotline that you can call to get some help. They have the resources that you can use. The number is 988. Don't do life alone. It's not that hard to reach out for help. Just got to be willing to do it.
Yeah, and you got to be willing to be you got to be open to people reaching out to you too. Don't dismiss people. If somebody says, "Hey, I got a problem, I need to talk to you," listen to them. You might not be able to answer a single question that they have. You might not be able to give any advice that you think is worth anything. But sometimes all the person needs is someone to listen. They need to vent, get it off their chest. So just sit there, let them vent. Nod your head a lot. That's what I do.
True.
I heard a wife asked her husband one day, said, "How do you do it? Everything goes haywire and the world's going crazy and you just stay so calm and cool and relaxed." And he said, "Well, I figured out a long time ago that I don't really care what people think. And so I just let them rant and rave, and then I say, 'You're right,' and turn around and walk off from them." And it's why I says, "That's ridiculous. That would never work in a million years." And he says, "You're right." And he walked off.
Yeah, I heard that one. By the way, you be proud of me. I remembered a joke, and I told like 2 or 3 people, and it went swimmingly. It was great.
Do I know the joke?
You're the one that told me.
Which one?
The why the toilet paper? Why couldn't the toilet paper cross the street?
You almost screwed it up right there. Almost screwed it up.
Yeah, you got stuck in a crack.
Yeah.
And they go, "Ah!" But I've remembered the joke. I used to be proud of me.
Well, first of all, they shouldn't laugh that hard. They're just being nice to you because that's a silly joke.
No, they thought it was funny.
Try the Snapple joke on them.
Snapple? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard that one with the cookie before.
That'll work too. Anything will work. It's just whatever.
I think I did that to my dad, actually. I was like, you ain't gonna believe what they asked me to do down at the gas station.
Yeah.
This sure is a good chocolate chip cookie.
It works a lot better if you have one on the hand. You just start eating it. Yeah, they all went that way. No.
Yeah.
All right. So tomorrow we got we're no show tomorrow.
No show tomorrow.
Do we know about Wednesday?
We should be good for Wednesday.
Okay. No show tomorrow. We're going to be rooting on the Hogs against the UCA Bears.
Actually, it's going to be a lot of SEC tournament on Wednesday, so we'll be right after the Hog game, actually.
Yeah. You want to do one right after the Hog game?
We could probably do that, yeah.
All right. We can do a halftime show of all of them if you want.
No, I can't do that. Can't do that. I can do the end of the Hog game, though. That'll work out good. It'll be right about the time showtime is anyway.
Well, they start at noon. It'll be earlier than that. It'll be more like 2 or 2:30.
Yeah. That's fine.
All right, man. First pitch is at 6. I figure Ham and I are leaving as soon as I get off work. So I'll see you up there, brother.
All right, man. Catch you later.
Go Hogs.
Thanks for watching our show. Remember to subscribe for more shows on the network. Smash the like button, share, and comment.